Hey y'all, in this video, I'm going to show you how to increase the number of phone calls, website visits, inquiries, and bookings you're getting in the Google Maps section of a Google search by optimizing your Google My Business profile. This is very simple stuff, and I think it's something that a lot of local businesses can take advantage of in a very short amount of time. So, as you can see here, here's my SEO training and consulting company in San Antonio, Open Book SEO. So, very simply, what you can do to make your profile much more compelling and engaging right from the get-go. My business has not existed for a good amount of time, but I am already starting to get phone calls, website visits, and emails on behalf of people looking at my listing on Google in search or as well in the Maps section. And when I'm talking about that, I mean um, right here. This is the map section, right? Uh, I'm very close proximity to my own business, so that's going to show up pretty high, obviously. But not only that, here in search, when people are looking for my business, this is going to take a lot longer to rank for in here in this section. But you'll be able to start showing and get visibility in the map section rather quickly. So what that can mean, obviously, is a lot more website visits, a lot more interest in your business, and phone calls right from the get-go if you have a compelling listing. If you consider who it is that you're competing against, you just have to take a look and search for your keyword and see how things look. If I take a brief look at more places here, it looks like the barbershop space is rather competitive. One of the things that I check on first and foremost is the quantity of reviews, but not all business spaces have a really, really great quantity of reviews. Getting those up and running first and foremost can be a thing that can just skyrocket the amount of conversions that you get from people browsing for businesses here. The data can be linked out elsewhere, but it's creeping up near 100% of people online who are searching for businesses based off reviews, reading online reviews, and making their buying decisions and consuming decisions off of that. So it's not 100% yet, but it is in the mid to upper 90s, and it's only becoming more critical for folks to get that right. So the things that I want to talk to you about are essentially just filling out the information that Google gives to you. This is the easiest way that we can begin optimizing our profile. So we want to make sure that all this stuff, first and foremost, is correct. And this all begins with verifying your Google My Business profile through sending a postcard to your address. And if you don't know how to do that, I would just go ahead and do a quick Google search, and it's most likely going to be the first result. Verify your local business listing on Google. They're going to show you step-by-step how to do that, provided you have that My Business profile set up. So, when people are looking for my company, this is what they see. I've went ahead and optimized the title for one. I have my company name and, my primary location with what it is that I do, the service that I offer. I've been very diligent, to collect a good handful of reviews early on from customers and clients that I've worked with, people who I've given workshops to, etc. And not only that, we'll talk about reviews again in a second. I reply to those. I know my website's correct. I have it sent to my homepage. If you have a more specific page for a location like San Antonio SEO, that may be something I should do in the future, to consider. I would consider making the website link here as specific as possible. And you can do this all by editing your business information. As an example, I can edit that landing page there. Make sure your hours are correct. That's a very important thing. Phone number, obviously. Make sure to select a category about what your business is about. They give you a whole bunch of options there. And then, your address has to be correct as well. Another important characteristic is this description, which I see a lot of businesses not fill out. They give you 750 characters to be able to go ahead and take care of this. And essentially what you want to do there is talk about your business. Again, use some of those targeted keywords. of what your primary services or offerings are. So I think in the my description there, I have SEO company in San Antonio, Texas. Looking for it, training and consulting, SEO, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to get to the examples of this, feel free to Google my business and take a look at the description that I've written. But it's another good opportunity there to plant some very particular keywords, as a result. Moving on, here Google gives the option to add posts about special events, deals, or products. And this is something that I do on an occasion to post my upcoming workshops, as well, just when I have some new photos or things like that, or as well, if we get some guest posts published in different places, on our behalf. So they're simple updates. You don't have to do every single thing here. As you can see, those are within a week, but after that is a month. Only getting a few in there is pretty worthwhile because they collect in your photos and everything like that, and it just shows some good activity on this profile, which Google does like. Afterwards on that, it's one thing you do have to be aware of is this question and answer section. You'll oftentimes see people or folks asking questions about the business. You have the opportunity as the business owner, I think you get notified via email to respond to those questions and answer them properly. Very important there. Anyone can answer those questions. So if someone asks, like, hey, has this place moved or whatever it is, or, are they offering gluten-free pizza if you're a pizza restaurant as an example, any community member can answer that. So I would get on those very quick, especially as you get those email notifications to make sure those answers are correct. Or, if someone has answered them, feel free to back them up and be like, yep, that's correct. This is the owner or whomever, the manager, et cetera, just to, make sure all information is as legitimate as possible and people see that it's, really quite important. Briefly again on reviews here, what I always do and what is best practice is to come here and actually respond to every one of these. You want to show yourself as a very active, engaged business owner. And, if you like as well, you can like people's reviews too, just another little aspect of that. So something nice to do, and it's great to, reconnect with folks who were nice enough to leave some positive feedback on your behalf. So very, very helpful. And not only that, those review signals are going to be a huge differentiator as people are browsing for your business here in the map section, looking for your particular business. Another thing in here which reminds me, if you're a type of business that has the opportunity to schedule appointments, Google actually has a number of partner softwares that they work with. You can look here. Go ahead and Google, Google Maps Reserve Partners or whatever it may be. But they already work with a number of folks to allow you to book, to give the option for people to book appointments, reservations, etc. directly from this search. So this is really important. If people are looking for you, I need to have people give me a bit more information and things like that. So having them book a phone call with me directly, that may not be something I want to do for my style of business. But if it makes sense for yours, restaurants, whatever it is, you want to give away a free consultation right off the bat. When people are searching for your name or business and they see this, they can get the opportunity to book right away, which gives, folks, as you see here, it'll show up this salon. They can schedule date and time, et cetera, et cetera. Even pick a service with, the particular stylist. So obviously super relevant to, a hair salon or barbershop or whatever here, but, this works well for massage parlors or, what have you. Anything that offers services like this, that's really great information to give. So if you come into the back end of your My Business, you can see it here, a bit here of performance data as well. I get a handful of views, sometimes some clicks on those posts, only a few of them, right? But it's all worthwhile in the early days of things. But you'll get a good suggestion here for stuff that you should add right away. So Google Virtual Tours, I just take these recommendations bit by bit, and make it a goal to do something every now and again, and to give as much information to Google as possible. In the info section here, behind the scenes, they give you some more options. So they have your expanded hours. Make sure you selected a proper service area right here. Your zip code, where you're located, etc. And if you serve additional regions, feel free to add that in. The geographic proximity is still one of the largest ways that people can find you. So keep that in mind. Any holiday hours you can add in. Like I mentioned, the appointment URL, I do just send them to my contact page. As I mentioned, if you have services that you can add, this is something that's really powerful just to give people more information as possible to engage with you, without even having to go to your website. So really extraordinary there. Any particular attributes, these are all just things to take advantage of. So I totally recommend going through these, and not only that, they're going to help your listing, on search and in maps get more engagement without a doubt. So the last thing I guess that I will discuss here is photos and videos. So you cannot do enough of these without a doubt. You get a really healthy amount of views on photos, and as well, it's a great opportunity to make something personable. I have a really short 30-second video here introducing myself and my company. And all these kind of things just humanize the person's experience online and allow folks to engage with your business, so to speak, before they even get on the phone with you, or as well come into your shop, if that makes sense, or meet with you, for coffee or what have you. But as I mentioned, taking advantage of this kind of stuff is going to get you leads, inquiries, and phone calls right off the bat. So I would wholly recommend that you go ahead and do these things. Don't worry about the ads so much right off the get-go if you don't have an optimized My Business profile. But get it verified, and as I mentioned, if you don't know how to do that, just Google it right there and follow the Google support instructions. It's very simple. You get a postcard in a couple days in the mail, and they help you out and get it figured out. And post some photos. Make sure you're getting those reviews from your customers, and you should be getting some phone calls and inquiries shortly. Hopefully, y'all found this video helpful and allowed you to get a spark in business.